dropping in. I was in the pool room. You may hear this a number of times. And I looked under the pool table, and there was an incredibly yellowed Commodore 64. Incredibly yellowed, incredibly. I especially like, I'll hold this up, the keys. The rest of the machine, it is yellowed. More over here than over here. But the keyboard itself, my God. It's like it's its whole thing. And it's obvious from the way it is that the sun was the culprit. Because you see, some of the parts of the keys are not discolored. The tops are, etc. I would say, looking at the way this is, that the sun, because see, the left side of the keys are pretty much all discolored. The right side, not so. The fronts, mostly yes, but not completely, because of course the keys would have been shielded some, and the back sides, no. So the sun probably was coming in from about here consistently for a very long time. Anyway, as I say, it's good to document things, because according to the sticker on here, not the sticker, the piece of paper on here, that I last tested this in August of 2014, and it worked. So, I have the monitor cranked up. It is, of course, a Commodore 1902, which will work quite happily on a 64. But it is made for a 128 because it has an input for the 80 columns. We'll get to that. Not today. I must find that cable. Anyway, I'm going to turn this on. I hear things. Ah, there it is. There it is, the Commodore 64. It looks quite dandy. Oh, do I notice a little shakiness? I'll turn it off and I'll put in this magical diagnostic thing. And I believe this is the, yes, here we go. This is not the dead test, this is the one that will fully and completely test the SID chip in terms of its sound capabilities. The way to really test the SID chip completely is to load up a game that uses paddles and use the paddles, because the SID chip, besides making beautiful music, or having the potential of making beautiful music, what does it do? Oh, the paddles are controlled from within the SID chip. I guess they had room. Excellent. So it was working, it's still working. Oh my word. Okay, no wait, there's more. There's more stuff on the bottom. I must explore. More information. Oh. What does it say? Works. Badly yellowed. Game okay. Sound okay. 1541 test okay. 64C. So dirty looking. And way back when, one of the things that was recommended for security reasons, if somebody stole your machine, would be for you to put other information on the machine. And from what it looks like here, thought I heard Penny. Just a second. Andrew! Close the door, please! Close the door, please! Thank you. Somebody put on their phone number and also their, what do they call it? Ham radio code thing. But they only put, they didn't you know, some people use engravers. This looks like it's just written on, which means a magic eraser would take it off just like that. So yes, it is badly yellowed. Now the other thing that is interesting about this one is it has never been opened because the warranty seal is intact. And it says warranty seal. It says it in, well, maybe as many as 4 languages. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. So, I was thinking I might open this up and have a look and see what version of the board it is. Because with the 64C, they did have the, there was the smallest version of the day, or versions of the day, which had the super PLA chip, which I do not like. But if I peer through here, I'm hoping to maybe be able to tell. And at this juncture, I'm not sure. It's very hard to tell. I think it's a small one. See, this case, scratch up the ieee-ieee. This case would, what would it do? Oh, it will take either board. Let me just look at this one for a second. See, this one I think is a big board. I think. You see, when I look in here, I can see lots more shielding things, which was not necessarily just on the 64C. It certainly has the metal shielding that covered more. I bet you this is a small board. I bet you. But I don't know for sure. I suppose what I could do is see, when I look, here's the thing. When I look in this one, I see like little resistor pack things. And when I look at this one, I see lots of little capacitors. Not capacitors, I believe. Just a moment. Somewhere over here, I have a board that I carefully set aside because it is up for sale online. And if I move it over here, oh yeah. So when I look at the, just a moment, I will come back with it. When I look at the 64C board, and I look in like this, that's basically the view, like that, because you can't really see much else because of the shielding. On this one here, looking inside, I see little capacitors. I do. And this one, I do not. This one, I see, well, there's some capacitors, but there's also, I think it's called a resistor pack. It is. Also, I can see at the bottom of this one, like the shield, well, this one too has a shield, but it's different. Anyway. My best guess with this never before opened Commodore 64 with the warranty sticker intact is that it is a 64C. The other thing, I can just check which one feels heavier. one feels heavier. And it's not a vast difference, but it just does. So this is, my best guess is this horribly yellow 64 is one of these boards with the evil Super PLA chip. Right there. 64 pins of hell. I don't like them. Not that they are any worse or any better. Like when they're working, they're fine. And this one, I like it. It has the nice green and gold tones. And of course, less chips, so it would cost less, etc., etc., etc. But, as I said, what really I can tell looking here, little capacitors. That's what I can see. So, tempting as it is to open this machine, I will not. I will not. If it would, I mean, I'd really like to swap the top and put something nicer on. But you see, now part of the history of this machine is the horrible yellow keys. And of course we know it has not been touched. You know what? It might have been opened. Here is the thing. Commodore service places and dealers were given warranty stickers that if they did open something up, they could put another sticker back on. By the way, I just did something that I should not do. You must be very careful. I did not check the power switch when I put in the power supply, and it was turned on. So let's just check. Does this dirty keyboard work completely and without hesitation? And so far, it does. Seem to be okay. It does. Well, what to do, what to do. Let's see if I have this right. Yes. I'm going to poke 532. Oop, 53280, comma 0. And 53281, comma 0. And turn the background and the border black. And now this thing can run and say Commodore 64, Commodore 64, Commodore 64. There are people who are very much wanting machines untouched, unopened. I did sell a 64 to a fellow somewhere from Western Canada a while ago, maybe a year, I don't know. And really, he wanted one with the warranty sticker, never touched, never, ever, ever opened, never touched, never, no, 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 no. Which I don't exactly understand, but I suppose, you know, I do a little, maybe. Because now that we're getting into historical things, I don't know if he wanted to use it or not, but he definitely wanted that sticker untouched. And he was willing to offer a very fair offer for such a machine, which I did say, okay. And typically speaking, when I sell a 64, which doesn't happen often, but it happens, I typically don't sell it with a power supply. Firstly, of course, everybody hates the old power supplies, and in fact they could do bad things, although I've not experienced it. I know the early ones were much worse, and mostly when they failed, they didn't go hot, they just went bad. But they can go hot, especially on the 5-volt side, and then it can be tragic. Tragic. Tragic, I say. But the other reason I typically don't sell them with a power supply, because of course I figure if you really care and all, you should, if you've got other power supplies, use them, but really it's worth it to find a modern version of the power supply to make sure that things go better and that your machine doesn't get killed. But also, they're heavy. And shipping things are based on two things, the size and the weight. And yeah, size and weight. And also, see, this is a nice sleek thing. I have a bunch of boxes that are, they're old, not old, they're recycled from books, and they're very heavy and they're very tough and they're quite wonderful. And I know that if I take a 64 and I wrap it in bubble wrap and I put it in there, it would take some doing for it to get damaged along the way. But the power supply is also heavy, but also it kind of, it messes with the safety of the 64, because it's a big heavy brick and it could shift, and I'm not sure if that box would work, and that box works very well. So anyway, I am suspecting what I may do with this one, as I leave it to burn in a bit, and the SID chip does work, and everything seems to be dandy. I might put even in its yellowed state, it is untouched. And people like that, and even with the yellowing, you know, it may be of interest to someone. If not, you know what? I can open it up. I can change the top. I can make it pretty. And it's funny, you know, Commodore had a variety of kinds of keyboards and things and such. This 64C, which I'm sure has the bigger board, it has the same top, but boy, the keyboard is quite different. I would bet it was replaced, and it is a keyboard from an original Brown 64. But also keep in mind, Commodore was just trying to sell things as fast as they could, as many as they could. And if they had a bunch of these keyboards sitting around that really didn't go with the 64C, but they worked, they would put them in, I'm sure. And just out the door they would go. Yes, old keyboard. But chances are, my gut tells me, that this was swapped out. I would bet. But I don't know. Who knows? The machines now are, you know, 40, 91, 30, 81? Yeah, about 40. So, who knows? Except this machine, of course, is untouched. Well, I don't need this one. I'll leave this to burn in for a while, and I will ponder my next move. I will. But I am going to sell more things. I have some things up on eBay now. It's not really a store. My identity there is called Commodore Treasures. And what I really need to do is I have my very old original pet listed there, ready to take offers. Nobody has made an offer as yet. It is listed much higher than what I would suspect that I will get. But I have not tinkered with it, and I really should. I really should have a look and see what's what. I think it works. And if it doesn't, I probably have the parts around to make it work. But then if I get it working, do I want to keep it? I don't know. Anyway, I will be able to tinker more on it when I get into the pool room, because in there, I know there are two other small screen pets. One of them I know has definitely issues, like the monitor doesn't light up. And the other one, it was pretty fine, but then something happened when I was tinkering on it, which is why I'm afraid to tinker on things at times. But I really need to go back and look at the video and see if I can figure out what did I do. And my gut tells me, and I don't know how this would happen, my gut tells me that something happened when I put in a different cassette deck. Which to me makes no sense, but maybe it's drawing too much power. Maybe there's something horribly wrong with it. I don't know. I need to go back and watch and assess and see what I can figure out. But for the moment, this can burn in, sitting on this lovely Amiga 1000, which I'll turn back on. And it's not going to come up on the monitor. But I'll be able to hear it chug away. Wait for it. There it is. It's looking for kickstart. It is. Ah, yes. Alright, so things are burning in. And I have more things to look at. So, thanks for coming.